Hey guys, Andrew here from 8-Bboc.
Hey, what's going on guys? Professor K here for the Pokemon Evolutionaries.
And today we have what you guys have hopefully been waiting for, because, you know, I've been waiting for it for a while, but Professor K being sick and all. We got all the Bandit Ring scans. Hey, it's okay. But we got all the Bandit Ring scans, and which will be Ancient Origins, you know, give or take a few cards that will likely make its way from promos in Japan to our set. But yeah, we're going to be doing our set review as usual. We're going to kind of cut back on it just a little bit to save you guys some time, because we know not everyone has like about an hour to spare.
Gonna cut back on the artwork a little bit and just talk a little bit more about the competitive stuff.
Yeah, but rest assured, for you guys that do like artwork, we will be showing it, we just won't be talking about 30 minutes on each card about how good the artwork looks.
Exactly. Before we get too far on a tangent here, let's go ahead and just get right into it. Let's get started and take a look at what we have in store for us for what will be Ancient Origins for us and Bandit Ring in Japan. So first we'll just say, here's an Oddish, and here's a Gloom. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about the actual card we want to talk about.
Oddish is so cute.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's not go that way. Come on, let's not go that way, Andrew.
Ankle.
Alright, so let's take a look at this Vileplume here. We got a Stage 2, 130 HP Grass-type Pokemon, probably the most annoying card in the set, with its ability Frustrating Pollen. As long as this Pokemon is in play, both you and your opponent cannot play item cards. Oh my gosh, that is just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's, I don't remember what set it was from. I believe it was a Diamond and Pearl set, but it's a nice throwback to, actually, even Dark Vileplume is, you know, before they just had it be trainer cards, I think, because they didn't have items or tools or anything like that.
Stadiums, yeah.
But even back, yeah, in stadiums. But now it's just item cards, but it's a nice throwback to that Dark Vileplume and whatever Vileplume, whatever set it was from during the Diamond and Pearl era.
Yeah.
But definitely a very annoying card, but potentially good. I mean, I say potentially just because I'm hoping people don't use it, but
they will.
You know, people are going to use it.
It's worth noting that every Vileplume that's ever been created has some kind of really annoying effect. So every time you see a Vileplume come into the format, just know that it's going to be very frustrating regardless. And it sucks, because we're just gotten to the point now where Seismitoad EX is not going to be quite as strong with Lysander's Trump card, and now we have essentially the same exact thing, except for it's going to be a bench sitter instead of being in the active position and requiring a double color synergy.
Yeah.
So
you see, and the thing is, you know, I'm not, like, it's definitely good, but it also locks you. So you have to kind of play it wisely to make sure that you don't, you know, end up hurting yourself by not being able to play the item cards.
Yeah, you don't want to play a very item-reliant deck.
Yeah, but, you know, so it's definitely going to have to be worked out, but we can talk about some different strategies later on after we go through the set initially, but Vileplume is definitely going to be very good with another card from this set, very good EX,
a couple of cards,
in my opinion.
A couple of card combinations, actually. Alright, and of course the last thing in the evolution line here is just the Blossom, nothing too special there. And go ahead, Andrew, let's talk about the next card.
Yes, so we have this spinner rack right here. I tried to pull it up, but it actually didn't increase in size, so that was kind of disappointing. But we do have this Gyarados for 70 HP, and it has the ability Poison Nest. Once during your turn before your attack, you may use this ability. Both active Pokemon are now poison, excluding grass Pokemon. So its attack doesn't matter at all. Really, it's only going to be used for its ability, and it is a really good ability, in my opinion. I mean, not being able to poison your own grass Pokemon, obviously if your opponent has a grass-oriented deck, then it's kind of useless. But if you throw this in with, like, let's say, a Sceptile EX deck or even a Mega Sceptile EX deck, both of those are very viable options, in my opinion. But, oh, and Machamp. I forgot about Machamp. Totally. That's actually, I think it might even be more used in a Machamp deck, to be honest. But, yeah, I think it's definitely a really good card, and it was illustrated by Hajime Kusajima, my personal favorite illustrator, so shout out to you, buddy. He doesn't watch my videos.
No, not at all.
But, but also 70 HP, so I wish he had at least 90, but search it out with Level Ball. straight evolution with the Wally, or even with Giant Plant Forest, but I mean, depending on your deck, you don't really necessarily need that just because it is a stage 1.
Now wait a minute, Andrew, you're starting to talk about cards we haven't even discussed yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, well, yeah. Giant Plant, what?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
So, Sceptile X.
Oh yeah, Sceptile X. Alright, let's take a look at this guy right here. Yeah, definitely a good competitor just on its own, actually. 2 attacks, Sleep Poison, which does 10 damage. Flip coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep and poisoned. And you got Assassin Claw. If your opponent's active Pokemon is affected by a special condition, this attack does 70 more damage for a grass and a colorless. That's where we were talking about Ariados being a potential factor here in this kind of a deck, because you can use it to activate it. Obviously your Sceptile is not going to be poisoned because it's a grass type, but your opponent will be, and all of a sudden Assassin's Claw is doing 130 damage. So, yeah,
and just for a grass and a colorless, that's pretty good, and it's very rare that you see Pokemon EX that also have Mega Evolutions. It's very rare that you see the pre-evolution, I guess you would call it, actually be good, because as you know, like Venusaur EX was terrible, even though Mega Venusaur is not really good either. Blastoise was kind of okay, but it just still wasn't good. Groudon, compared to Primal Groudon, was crap. Same thing with Kyogre. They just weren't very good cards, so it's nice to see that Sceptile could be run on his own.
Yeah, I mean,
and, you know,
you also saw...
on who... Oh, go on.
I was going to say, we saw the inverse of that with Charizard, where Charizard EX, the one from Flashfire, the Combustion Blast one, was good, but the Megas weren't.
Oh, yeah, that is actually true, but, yeah, I definitely think, and this is arguably, you know, because Mega Sceptile EX is definitely good, don't get me wrong, but it could even arguably be better depending on the kind of deck that you are running, because you're doing more damage for the same amount of energy as Mega Sceptile EX's attack. We'll get to that in a second. But, you know, there's pros and cons to each, but, you know, depending on how good you are at building decks, you know, Sceptile EX deck could be potentially even better than a Mega Sceptile.
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on the way you want to build your deck. If you want to go super aggressive, or if you're going to go for something with a little strategy a little bit later in the game. Depends on how you want to play it. So let's take a look at Mega Sceptile here. 220 HP, pretty good for Mega Pokemon here. Not too weak, not too overpowered. But we see for the first time our first Theta Ancient trait, which is Theta Stop. Prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon's abilities done to this Pokemon. So all of a sudden, not that Safeguard Pokemon will be around after rotation, but it would not have any effect on anybody who has Theta Stop. So that's one thing. Also... let's see here. Oh, well, there's a card in the set coming out too that would not be affected. Mega Sceptile would not be affected by it either, so that's kind of interesting. But let's take a look at the attack here. Jagged Saber, 100 damage. You may attach up to 2 grass energy from your hand to your bench Pokemon in any way that you like. If you do, remove all damage from each Pokemon you attach them to. That is super insane. That's like Mega Manectric on steroids right there.
Oh, yeah. Because not only do you get to attach to the Pokemon in any way you like, you get to just remove all damage. So, you know, essentially you can make different strategies. It's like, oh, do I want to power this one up super quickly by attaching 2 grass energy? Or do I want to get rid of all the damage on this guy and attach 1 energy to each of them? Even accelerating that 1 energy to each is really good, but to heal all damage from them is just... I don't even have words for that. It's just really, really good. And 100 damage for 2 energy is not bad either.
No.
At all.
Not a bit. Not a bit. Alright, well, let's go ahead and move on.
Definitely. Ooh, this is one that I was really excited to see.
Combi.
We have this. We have this Combi and the 2 Vespiquen. So we'll get rid of that Combi and then just bring up this first Vespiquen. It has, let's see, is that worth talking about? I guess so. The colorless attack, information control, 10 damage, and then you may draw cards from your deck until there are 6 cards in your hand. You know, that could be decent, but that's not what you want to use this Vespiquen for. Oh no. You want to use it for Be Revenge. 20 plus damage. This does 10 more damage for each Pokemon card in your discard pile.
That attack looks really familiar, Andrew.
Oh, from where could it be?
Where could it be? That is an interesting little pun you have going there, my friend.
Yeah, but yes, obviously this is very reminiscent of Flareon decks, but the one difference is that it has less HP than Flareon, has 90, so you can search that out with, I don't know, a card called Level Ball, if that happened to even be reprinted. Well, who knows? I mean, you know, who knows if Level Ball will ever make a comeback. But I like that they wrote for each Pokemon card in your discard pile, and it's like, technically aren't all of the cards in the Pokemon TCG Pokemon cards.
That is true.
No, for each Pokemon in your discard pile. But here's the thing, with Toad being, you know, not quite as powerful, but it's still going to be around, this Vespa Queen is definitely going to be very good against it, and it has 0 retreat.
Yes.
So that's one thing to note about it, is the 0 retreat cost. So definitely, and you know, it's just great card. I think, you know, it's, like I said, probably not going to be tier 1, but it is the return of Flareon decks, basically.
Yes.
And then I guess I can go over this Vespa Queen real quick, the ancient trait. It looks super cool. I just love the angle. Like, they're making these half art cards look so much better as time goes on. They're just finding great ways to actually do it. This card isn't necessarily good at all, but it is the first sight at our other, or second, Theta trait, Theta Double. This Pokemon can have 2 Pokemon tools attached to it, but it is kind of wasted on this. B-Drain, 20 damage, heal damage from this equal to the amount of damage you did to the defending Pokemon. Yeah, it's just not really that good, but it could be potentially good on some other Pokemon.
Yes, and we'll be getting to that here momentarily. Go ahead and just close out with Virizion, and I'll jump into the next.
Yeah, Virizion, actually no, Virizion is worth talking about a little bit for grass decks. It is a basic, it has 110 HP, it's very nice looking. The rescue, search or discard for 2 Pokemon, show them, and then put them into your hand. That's okay, but the prize counter attack is actually pretty decent. For 2 grass energy, 40 plus damage, but if you have more prize cards left than your opponent, it does 80 more damage. So that's not really that bad. It's definitely a cool tech card, I think, for starting off early, but you know, it's not going to be your main hitter, but it's definitely a cool card, I think.
Yeah, and you get the acceleration from Mega Sceptile on the bench if you really wanted to get this thing going.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to talk about the next few cards here. We've got Flareon. Flareon's kind of interesting because it is the first evolution here that has the ability Flare Effect. This is one of 3 different abilities that are very similar. As long as this Pokemon is in play, all of your Stage 1 Pokemon are Fire type as well as their original typing. So now you're adding kind of a dual weakness to your Pokemon that you have. The attack is nothing special about it. It would just be a bench sitter, but looks really cool, and the effect of the ability could actually be used in a few different ways with a few different Pokemon. So we'll be getting into that here momentarily.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm looking forward to that. Flareon could be relevant again.
It could be.
It's not its revenge attack. It could definitely be relevant.
It could be. And then, of course, we got the Entei, the regular Entei, nothing too special about it, other than it looks cool, and also the same goes for the Entei with the Ancient trait. It has the Theta Double, just like we mentioned with the Vespiquen Ancient trait. Other than that, nothing too special about it, just the way it looks is really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, they did a really great job on the artwork for these. So next up we have Larvesta and Volcarona. So yeah, there's Larvesta for you. But this first Volcarona here is actually really, really good for its attack Sunbath. For a colorless energy, you may search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto your bench, and attach up to 2 basic energy cards from your deck to that Pokemon, and then you shuffle your deck afterwards. That's really good setup.
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it because basic Pokemon obviously includes Pokemon EX, and just to attach 2 energy for it, yeah, it's stage 1, you gotta get it set up, but for 1 colorless energy, that's not really bad. I mean, if you have a fire deck, or just any deck really, to where you can get this set up quickly, it could be a very good tech cards for a lot of different decks.
Could be, could be.
And then other Volcarona, nothing special about it really. It looks amazing, but hey, for a collector standpoint, this set's really, really good.
Yeah, the way it looks is just awesome. But let's go on here. Let's move along to our Magikarp and Gyarados line. We got Magikarp here. Nothing special about him. You know what he is. This Gyarados looks pretty awesome, too. Not that I'll think it's going to get any kind of competitive play. The energy requirement is pretty heavy, and the attacks are not anything that's overwhelmingly fantastic. Not bad, but not really... I don't think it's going to change the meta in any way, shape, or form.
Whenever you have to rely on, like, you know, coin flips and whatever, it's just not going to be good. But, I mean, hey, you know, any deck like that has potential just for fun, but for the metagame, just, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And then we got the Ancient Trait Gyarados here that has the same beta double that we've seen before. Of course, he's going to eat that Fisherman right there. Pokemon really pushing the boundaries there.
Boundaries crossed.
Boundaries crossed, indeed. Again, nothing too special with the attacks. A little bit heavy on the Thrash attack for the energy requirement, and counterattack would be better if Magikarp had more HP, but no, I don't think so.
It could have definitely been cool, but yeah, no, whatever. But no matter, the card itself is just beautiful.
Yep, so go ahead and get Vaporeon and Relicanth next.
Yep, Vaporeon is another one of these effect ability evolutions. As long as this Pokemon is in play, all of your Stage 1 Pokemon are Water type as well as their original type. Its attack, again, nothing special, but the card's amazing for its effect and look overall. It can be searched out with Level Ball, which is really cool. And like I said, you know, just combinations with tons of different things can definitely make Stage 1s a lot more playable, I think. And yeah, I definitely think this these abilities that these evolutions have could be really, really good. And then Relicanth, I'll just show him, but he's complete garbage. And I'm really sad about him being in this set.
Yeah, I mean, using your attack for Colorless Energy to get up to a Pokemon tool cards, just not that great.
I didn't even bother looking at the attacks. I just thought he was going to be Garbo.
Yeah, I mean, Deep Sea Search is an attack we've seen on, I want to say Manaphy, but I don't see anybody using it regardless. So let's move on here to the Regice. This is something that I think is kind of overlooked a little bit that I think has some potential. Not for the Ice Beam attack, but for Resistance Blizzard. 70 damage during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by opponent's Pokemon EX, which this is very similar to Hippowdon from Furious Fist. I believe it's Furious Fist. Is it Furious Fist? I can't remember.
No, Primal Clash.
Primal Clash. That's right. I'm thinking Furious Fist because it gets played with fighting decks, obviously. Yeah. But yes, it's very similar to Resistance Desert on that Hippowdon. It is slightly less damage, but you're talking about a basic Pokemon here, and it's only a water and a double colorless, so you can still slap a Muscle Band on there, hit for 90 damage, and prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. And with the high number of EX Pokemon decks that are out there, it's pretty decent to keep in there if you're running some kind of a water deck.
Oh yeah, definitely. And, you know, if you do lose him, hey, it's only one prize card and you got a decent amount of damage off, and you had to force them to do something that they didn't quite want to do.
Yep. So let's take a look at Kyurem EX next. What can you really say about Kyurem EX?
I mean,
not much.
Some people want to try and say Frozen World could be good because it does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon, but...
that energy requirement.
I do like the name of the attack, Icecalibur. I think that's a pretty nice pun right there. But, you know, 3 water, a colorless to do 130 damage, and then you have to discard 1 energy. But I guess it says during the opponent's next turn, defending Pokemon can't attack, but obviously you can get around that with switching, so...
Yeah, nothing too special.
Yep, but he looks okay.
Yeah. Alright, move on to Jolteon.
Yes, Jolteon, the final evolution in this effect ability thing. As long as this Pokemon is in play, all of your Stage 1 Pokemon are Lightning type as well as their original type. This one is probably going to be a lot more playable just because Mega Rayquaza is really relevant in the metagame right now. It has 0 retreat cost, so that makes it good. I don't know if we checked the retreat cost on the other ones, but I feel like they actually had like at least 1 or 2. But this one is free.
Vaporeon is 2, and Flareon is 1.
Okay, so yeah, this one's definitely a little bit better, and it's more playable because it's Lightning type, and they gave it the Hollow treatment compared to the other 2 not getting the Hollow treatment, which is kind of disappointing, but, you know, whatever. Jolteon's always, I felt, the favorite out of the original 3. Looks really cool. the ability is, like I said, very, very cool, and it's probably going to be a little bit more used than Flareon and Vaporeon, but you never know, because the game is always constantly changing as sets come out with new and different ways to make decks, really.
Yep. Alright, move on to your Ampharos next.
Ampharos EX, is there anything worth talking about on regular Ampharos EX?
No.
Nah. I mean, it's just cool to see Ampharos as an EX, really. I mean, he just seems like he wouldn't get one, but it's cool that he did. But Mega Ampharos, whether he's great or not, we should talk about the Megas regardless. For 2 Lightning and 2 Colorless, Excavation, 120 plus damage. You may do 50 more damage, and your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed, but then you do 30 damage to yourself. Yeah, that's kind of a big ouch right there. 120 is decent damage, but for 4 energy, even if it's 2 Lightning and 2 Colorless, it's pretty costly to get him powered up. You could do the 170 damage total, but doing 30 to yourself is just, I don't know, I think it's just too risky in all reality. But looks really cool. I do like that Mega Ampharos is an EX, you know?
Yep.
It's just, I wish he were better. At least if that was like 2 Lightning and a Colorless, I think that might even be a little bit better, but unfortunately, it's just not there. I don't see that much potential in it.
No, I mean, like I said, it's one of those things that's like, it could be good, but it could be bad at the same time.
Yeah, you just have to wait and see if any cards come out in other sets to make it better.
Yep. Okay, so let's move on here. We're just going to take a look at it just because Rotom's here for some unknown reason. Don't really know why.
I mean, like, if they put an Ancient trait, it would kind of be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, he has an Ancient trait, but it's just like, nope, random Rotom.
Yep. Alright, so we're going to talk about this card next. This is an unknown. And I think, oop, there goes my computer. For some reason, I must have went back a site. I don't know why. That was really crazy. Okay. Alright, we're back on track again.
Always messing up these reviews.
I know. So this unknown here, which by the way has a very, very awesome scan. I don't know why this is so clear, but it's really clear. It has
like you can see the lines of the shadow on its back. Like it looks really
detailed.
Super detailed. Like
yes.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyways, let's get off of that. Ability is Last Will. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may discard this Pokemon and all cards attached to it. Does not count as a knockout, and then draw a card. Upon first glance, most players would say that makes no sense. Why would you want to knock out a Pokemon or get rid of a Pokemon that you put on the bench with cards attached to it? But when we have things like, let's see here, we got Mega Manectric that can accelerate energy out of the discard pile. If you want to get, well, energy, I guess that's pretty much all you could do. If you want to get energy back, that'd be the way to do it. If you want to get it in the discard pile, Mega Turbo, Mega Manectric, different ways that you could just get energy out of the discard pile. This is the way to do it, really. Just attach it to Unknown, knock it out. Technically not knocking it out, you're just discarding it, and you get to draw a card, adding to your draw support, so that's a really cool card.
Yeah, one thing to know about the artwork, when you take a look at the unknowns, it says Nanda with a question mark, so that's why I said it as a question, because it is a question. Nanda in Japanese can mean like what or why, so I guess that might have been people's expressions when they first saw Unknown was in the set. They were just like, why?
Huh.
But definitely really good ability, and that is why, my friends. So I guess I just wanted to throw that little tidbit in because I can. So we've got...
Very interesting, very interesting. Arigato, my friend.
I don't know how to say you're welcome, and it's just, I kind of messed up. So anyway, so we've got Ball Toy. I just want to show both of these artworks off real quick because it's like, they're almost exactly the same, except the Ancient Trait one is a bit more colorful. Yes, Theta Stop. Future Spin, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and put them back in any order. I mean, that's kind of cool, but it's not really a game changer. But Claydol is actually pretty good in my opinion. Again, all of these Claydolls and Ball Toys are just spinning around, I guess. But I guess they kind of are the spinning top Pokemon or something like that. But the attack rewind on Claydol is actually really cool in my opinion. Remove the top evolution card from each of your opponent's Pokemon and put those cards into your opponent's hand. It says evolution card. It doesn't say stage 2 or stage 1. So really, if they just had a bench full of Megas, just imagine the trolling that you could do. Like, let's just say there was 3 Mega Rayquazas on the bench. They all had their Spirit Links. Just play Startling Megaphone. I know it's not really played that much now, but just think the possibilities. Startling Megaphone, get all of those Spirit Links in the discard pile, then troll them with this Clay Doll, turn them all back into regular Rayquazas.
I'd love to see the look on my opponent's face when I do that.
And it's only for 1 Psychic, so that I just think is a really good tech card for any Psychic deck. I mean, I can definitely imagine this card being used as a tech in a Psychic deck. It's just, I think it's just too good. I honestly think it is a good card just because of the fact that you can do it to any evolution. So, but that's all. I mean, Hyper Beam, I mean, that's really low damage for Hyper Beam, so kind of crap.
It is actually the same as the Black and White number 99 Genesect promo, but that's a double colorless, so that's a little bit less. Yes, and with Dimension Value, you can do it for 1 Psychic, so that's still not too bad. Okay, so let's move on here. We got this Golett here. It's just a Golett. But what makes it even more interesting is this Golurk. Yes, this Golurk.
I love this Golurk so much.
Yes, we got the Theta Stop Ancient trait, which we already have discussed, obviously, and the ability is Double Type. As long as this Pokemon is in play, it's both Psychic and Fighting type. So we've got a dual type Pokemon. Now this is where we were talking about having like Flareon, Jolteon, Vaporeon. This Pokemon could have up to 5 different types. That's absolutely insane. Could you imagine the weakness coverage that you could get with that? Not to mention, with Golurk being Fighting type, all of a sudden you've got strong energy that you can attach to this thing. And Superpower is an all-colorless attack, 80 damage, plus you can make it 40 more damage. If you do, it does 20 damage to itself. But here's the question. Since it's both Psychic and Fighting type, and it resists fighting, does that mean that 20 damage does not get done to itself?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to have to make some type of ruling on that. Like, it's going to have to be discussed and either make an errata on it or whatever. But it doesn't say apply weakness and resistance, so that's, you know, where it's questionable. But if it is, in fact, even if you did 20 damage to yourself, that's not really horrible for the amount of damage you can output.
It would say do not apply weakness or resistance. And since it doesn't, that means you do apply weakness and resistance. So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm thinking it's not going to be, they're either going to have to fix it so that it does do the damage to itself, or they're going to have to just say, hey, you don't do any damage to yourself.
Yeah.
But if you have something like Garbodor in play, well, Garbodor won't exist when this happens, so I can't even say that.
Silent Lab can't do anything because it's stage 1. The only thing that can stop it is a card that's in this set a little bit later. It's a supporter card, and
exactly.
We'll get over that a little bit later. But yeah, just imagine.
Oh, but wait, Theta Stop though. Prevent all effects of your opponent's abilities.
Well, yeah. So Pokemon with abilities do nothing to it. But if it is a supporter card that's played, then
yes, that's true. That is true.
But
okay, let's get to that later.
But I just want to talk about Superpower real quick. So just imagine the damage output. Let's say you put 2 strong energy on it, so that's another 40 damage. Then you put a muscle band, so that's 60 on top of the, 120? So that's already 180. Put a fighting stadium in play, that's
200.
200 damage on this stage 1, and it could possibly be 5 types and just cover so many different archetypes. I think that's just crazy, and I honestly think this could be a tier 1 deck. I mean, people will have to figure out how to make it work without being clunky, but since it's only stage 1, I don't think it's going to be that clunky and hard to work with.
Probably not. Just the energy requirement, just getting it going initially might be the only issue.
Yeah, but the payout for it is definitely really, really good.
Absolutely. All right, you can get Hoopa. I'll cover Machamp.
Yes, so this Hoopa EX... This is actually the first time I think they've named a set after the ability rather than the attack. The ability is Bandit Ring. Once during your turn before your attack, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may use this ability. Search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon EX, excluding Hoopa EX. Show them to your opponent, put them into your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. That pretty much sealed the deal that EXs aren't gonna go away or lose relevancy for a long time.
Yes.
As long as this card's in format. 3. Not 1, not 2, not 2.5. 3 Pokemon EX. That's disgusting. Its attack is crap. Hyperspace Fury, which is its signature move. I wish they would have done something a little bit better. 3 Psychic, discard 2 energy, but you get to choose one Pokemon and do 100 damage to it. It's not very good, but that ability is disgusting.
It is, and now all the decks that rely on Skyfield are just going to get that much more power.
Yeah. Ooh, this is... just looking at it is gross. Get it away. I'm going to pull up a Champy Hex. That's all we really need to say, other than the card's beautiful.
Yes. So
I got to throw in that little tidbit every time, now and again.
Right. So we got the Machamp X here. This is the card that I was speaking of earlier that could be used with Ariados as well.
Nice.
Not for Thrash, because Thrash is really not that great. 20 damage times the number of damage counters on the Pokemon, and then it's confused. It's really not that great. It's mainly for Crazy Hammer. 80 damage, and if the Pokemon is affected by a special condition, it does 80 more damage, and then you remove the special condition from the Pokemon. So you can use Ariados to poison yourself, deal out 160 damage for 2 fighting and a colorless, and then I'll not even worry about being poisoned after that because you heal yourself. It's pretty insane when you combine it with a single strong energy. You're hitting for 180 damage. That knocks out everything that's not a Mega, basically. I mean, that's pretty incredible.
But realistically, put 2 strong energy, Muscle Band, and the Fighting Stadium. That's what, 20, 40, 60, 80, plus the 160. That's 240. That's knocking out almost every single Mega.
Fighting Stadium, too, if you really wanted to go for the overkill.
Yep, so it's... oh, did I not include that?
I don't think you did. What'd you say? 160, 180, 200, 220. Well, with the Stadium, maybe 240.
Yeah, so... But still, that's... you know, people laughed at Machamp at first, but then Ariados came along, and that's the game changer right there.
Indeed.
So good. So good, in my opinion.
Yep.
You know, you always got to say in my opinion, so you don't piss someone off.
Yes.
So, anyways, we got Wooper. It's actually really cool to see Wooper and Quagsire as fighting types. It's so adorable. This Quagsire is so derpy. I love it. Not really much to talk about other than that they have water requirements. Let's see. Regirock. You don't mind that I just run through?
Nope.
These,
go ahead and go through
okay,
it. I'll talk about Tyranitar. I don't care.
Oh, damn it. Hey, do you want to get these next two? No, but Regirock. Let's see. Abominable Rock. Not good. Whatever. Golurk, here's the one because people are like, hey, isn't he supposed to get a regular card? Well, there you go. He's got double Lariat, which... No.
Nope.
It's not a good card. But it's cool to see him as a fighting type as well.
Yeah, it is.
So you can move on to Tyranitar and
Yes.
I
You know what?
Screwed myself on that.
I kind of earned the right to talk about Tyranitar X because I called Tyranitar EX being in this set a long time ago. So.
Shut up.
Yes, I did. I said Tyranitar EX and Mega Tyranitar were going to be in this set, and sure enough, here they are. Tyranitar... Alright, so we got Tyranitar EX. In and of itself is not impressive, but that's pretty much the norm when it comes to EX and their Mega counterparts. Head Smash for 60, Ground Break 130, does 10 damage to all your benched Pokemon. Pretty bad. But that all changes when we Mega Evolve into this Mega Tyranitar EX 240 HP monster with
The
Theta
Destroyer
Double.
King.
The Destroyer King himself with Theta Double. This Pokemon can have 2 Pokemon tools attached to it. That's disgusting because obviously you're going to have a Spirit Link and you can attach any other tool that you want to.
Ooh, double Headringer.
Or you could do the double, you could be Headringer twice if you don't get 2 tools on it fast enough. So yeah, that'd be pretty bad. But its signature attack is Destroyer King for 2 dark and a double colorless, 110 damage, and does 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon.
Disgusting.
Hello, Mega Tyranitar Bats. Are you kidding me? Could you imagine?
Like, seriously, all you need is 2 damage counters on... I can't.
All you gotta do is evolve into a single Golbat and deal the 20 damage to your opponent's active, and all of a sudden, you're hitting for how much damage is that? 230? And plus the 20 that's there, that's 250.
And guess what? You can have 2 tools, so you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I got the Spirit Link. You can put the Muscle Band on there if you want to be that disgusting about it.
You can.
I can't. I can't oh, and then when we talk about the special energy later, it makes it that much worse.
Oh, it does. It gets so much worse, you guys. You don't even know. You don't even know.
Like, I really want to puke. By the way, I do want to say, I really love what they did with the, like, purple smoke all around him. I don't know why. It just looks so awesome. I love it.
Oh, it does. I agree. I agree.
Sableye, the reason... Well, allegedly, the reason why Lysander's trump card was banned. For a Dark Energy Captivating Eye, choose a supporter card in your opponent's discard pile and use its effect as the effect of this attack. Yeah, I could see how bad that could be if just, like, anytime you wanted, you just throw this guy down and be like, hey, I'm gonna LTC. But yeah, that's... It's pretty cool. A lot of people complain that, you know, it's a dark energy use instead of a colorless, so it's only going to be a tech for dark decks, but I think that's really cool to be able to just, you know, if there is a, not Juniper, Sycamore in their discard pile, you can just Sycamore pretty much whenever, and I think that's really, really powerful.
Agreed.
So that's all that's really to say about that. I don't know. Do you want to cover these guys, or do you want me to? It doesn't.
I'm just gonna zoom through them here real quick. We got Entei.
Adorable. I love how they made it. It's so cute.
Yep. But Entei and Malamar both. I mean, I like the artworks on it. One is just kind of like derpy and cute. The other one is very serious and kind of regal looking. But they both suck, so it doesn't even matter.
And then, yeah, that's really all you can say about them.
Yep.
So we got this Beldum. First time I think I've ever seen Beldum as a clay figure thing, and it just kind of looks funny because it's like they probably had this guy propped up on a string because it's just not normally floating there. But I don't know what, like, I feel like they just like do all these cards like super in advance, because I feel like the only time we've ever seen these clay figures of the Pokemon, they're always in front of these damn rocks.
It does seem that way.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen them in another location.
Nope.
And then Metang, he's busting up those rocks. Not really much to say about him, but the Metagross is something you can talk about. The ability is a Magnet Warp. Once during your turn before your attack, you may switch your active Pokemon with one of your benched, and then your opponent switches their active Pokemon with one of their benched. And then it has the attack Iron Cannon. For 2 metal and 2 colorless, 80 plus damage, you may discard all metal energy from this Pokemon, and if you do, it does 80 more damage. People are talking about this a little bit because Magnet Warp, you can move it onto your bench, and then you can attach from the discard pile with Bronzong, and then put him back up there, you know, whether it be a switch or if you have something that has free retreat or whatever, and you can do the 160 damage, Muscle Band do 180. It's just too slow to actually be super good, but I mean, who knows? I've seen weirder things work, but you just got to put it out there to show the possibility for it. I mean, and the ability is definitely cool. I mean, I think that could be used in some decks. So that's all there really is to say about that.
All right.
And then other Metagross, it has Theta Double, but it's kind of wasted because there's, you know, not really anything that would be great to use it for.
No, not really.
Yeah, so, but he looks cool.
Although I have to say, Machine Gun Stamp, 20 damage plus 10 more for each card in your hand. You never know with that one.
Yeah, I mean, well, if, like, Colress wasn't being rotated out and then you had that Colress for 13 or
and
16 or something.
2 Muscle Bands, you're hitting for 60 plus whatever you have in your hand is 10 more.
True. Who knows? We'll see.
Yep, indeed. Go ahead and cover the last one. We'll just cover out the Steel Pokemon.
Yep, and the last Golem, except Regice isn't here. Registeel, just not as good as the Regice, so yeah. I mean, it has the Imprisoning Hammer, 70 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon's EX, discard an energy attached to it. I mean, that's kind of cool, but I don't see it being used.
Yep. Alright, I'm going to zoom through this next evolution line here pretty quickly. We just got a Ralts, a Kirlia, kind of neat looking artwork there.
Yeah, really, really good artwork.
And same goes for Gardevoir. The artwork just kind of gets better as you go on. But Unfortunately, there's really nothing there that's worth noting. I mean, evolving into a Stage 2 for Bright Heal for the ability once during your turn before you attack and heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon. It's not worth it for a Stage 2. So, there's your line there. Something that's a little bit more worth talking about, however, is this Cottonee and Whimsicott line. Cottonee itself, of course, is just a Cottonee, 40 HP, nothing great about it. But this Whimsicott is really, really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Who would have thought there'd be an interesting Whimsicott? Yeah.
I never did. I never did for a second.
No. Obviously, it's not that much of a tank because it's got 70 HP. It is a Stage 1, and the attack that we're going to talk about here is Wind Mischief. For 1 Fairy Energy, choose one of your benched Pokemon and move all damage counters on that Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me of that Gardevoir from the Radiant collection, in a way.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is interesting. So that's something that we could see for those people who want to play those kind of decks, but other than that, nothing too special, but yeah, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I definitely think that's really cool. But now I get to talk about this guy, so screw you, man.
I did that on purpose.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Professor Bay. So we have Giratina EX. Now, when I first saw this, I was kind of like super disappointed because I was like, come on, we already got Lugia EX and Kyurem EX. Why another repeat EX? But then you take a look, and he's in his origin form, and it's like, wow, that just looks amazing. You got this lightning and all this crazy stuff going on. So the card's amazing itself, just looking at it. But then you get the ability Rebellious Wave, prevent all effects of attack, including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Mega Evolved Pokemon. Shutting down Megas right there. And then it has the attack Chaos Veil versus Grass, Psychic, and 2 colorless.
Get it away.
Damage. Ooh. During your opponent's next turn, he or she cannot play any Pokemon Tool, Special Energy, or Stadium cards from his or her hand.
Get it away.
Oh my god, it's so bad. Giratina, Vileplume. Just imagine this combination. And here's the thing, if it would have been like a Grass and 2 Psychic and then 1 colorless, you know, that would have been like, okay, maybe. But double Dragon Energy, double colorless, 100 damage, and then run it with Vileplume. No items, no tools, no special energies, no stadiums. I'm puking, we're done.
Yeah.
Oh god, that's disgusting. That's gonna be pretty serious, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Anyways, so I'll just, do you want to do the rundown through these guys?
I'll let you do your 3 because you like this line.
I love Goomy and Goodra and Sliggoo. I actually think I like Sliggoo better than all 3 of them, to be honest. So you got Goomy, he has an ability, you have a water energy attached to it, you get to search for a Goomy. Nothing special. Sliggoo looking so amazing as usual. And then Goodra is a very cool holo. I don't think I've seen Goodra as not a holo, so they're giving a lot of special treatment to Goodra, but it's crap, unfortunately. Make a good Goodra, dang it, a Goodra EX, and have it be kind of cool.
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
But that's it about them.
Okay, so let's go through some of these colorless Pokemon here. We've got Meowth for the 2nd time in a row. That's kind of interesting. This time he's not being bothered by any Entei. He's just chilling on the beach, so that's one good thing.
Yeah. It's funny enough, though, he has the Act Bad attack. If you have a Darkness Energy attached to him, he does 20 more damage.
Yeah, that is kind of cool. And then we got this evolution, Persian, which the evolution wasn't in the last set for some strange reason. I don't know.
Well, I mean, because Entei and Meowth weren't in Emerald Break. They were like some promotion, like if you bought bread, you got those cards or something like that.
Okay.
It was something crazy. So they're just like, hey, we'll throw these in here.
Gotcha. Okay, so we got Persian here. Of course, nothing special to talk about there. I'll go to Eevee, and I'll let you cover the Porygon line. Eevee, obviously, the only way you're going to get to those evolutions is going through Eevee. And you're probably not going to use this one anyway. You're probably going to use the one from Furious Fist, honestly.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, this Eevee may look better, but it's not good at all.
It's cuter, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right.
The Porygon line, this one took me by surprise, and I couldn't have been happier. So, Porygon, this is actually kind of cool. I want to talk about Porygon just real quick, because it has the ability, or not ability, attack data check for 1 colorless. Look at your deck, then shuffle your deck. I just love that it's look at your deck. It's not even like, look for, the top 4 cards, anything like that. It's just look at your deck. I like that for some reason, but you're not going to use it.
No.
Then Porygon 2, nothing. But both Porygon Z are actually really interesting. The first Porygon Z has the attack Cyber Crash. Discard all special energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Ouch.
Yes.
That is gross.
There's a Giratina killer.
Yeah. Oh, geez. That's pretty bad. And then it has Slow Beam. Not really useful because getting around that, adding the extra colorless to attack, you can get around that by switching out. So
yeah, it's worth noting here, if you don't look at the card, there's an error here. It's not a double colorless, guys. It is a 3 colorless attack, even though Bboc Beach has it here as 2. So
yeah, that's so that makes it even less playable that it's 3 colorless instead of 2. But then we're moving on to the ancient trait Porygon Z, showing that Porygon some love. Love how this card looks, so colorful. Really the only thing to talk about with this one is it does have Theta Stop, I'll mention that, but it has Digital Reboot for 1 colorless. Choose any number of evolved Pokemon on your bench, remove as many, you may remove as many evolution cards from those Pokemon as you like and put them into your hand. That's like a Devolution Spray on steroids. It's absolutely ridiculous. So any cards that, you know, like let's say for instance Crawdont, you know, that can be useful for him. There are some Pokemon that are like losing the effectiveness for this, for like I think one that was really cool, I'm not sure if it's in rotation or not, was the Big Fan, trying to think of him, what's his name, Shiftry. Big Fan Shiftry was kind of cool. But you know, any decks that are relying on things like that, even like with Golbat or Crobat, this could be useful to just continuously do that. But I'm not sure how people will fit it in because it is Stage 2, but it's really cool and worth noting. Yep.
Alright, so the last Pokemon here in the set is Lugia Ix, which essentially is Mewtwo, colorless.
Yeah.
Arrow Ball, 20 damage times the number of the energy attached to this Pokemon and the defending Pokemon, but it also is like a hybrid because Deep Hurricane is a lot like Donphan's second attack. 80 damage for 4 colorless energy. If there's any Stadium card in play, this attack does 70 more damage and discard the Stadium. So you're hitting for 150 if there's a Stadium card in play, just like Donphan's Wreck, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's it might not be used that much just because Aerial Ball is a lot better, but it is there just to have if it's necessary to get rid of a Stadium and deal a lot of damage.
And the nice thing is that if it does see a decent amount of play, there's not going to be any Lugia Wars because there's no weakness, like Mewtwo is weak to itself. So.
Oh yeah, so that's definitely going to be a little bit more balanced.
Yes.
So now we're getting into the trainer cards. So first one is Eco Arm. I think when I covered this first I said Echo Arm. That was my bad. Eco Arm, shuffle 3 Pokemon Tool cards from your discard pile back into your deck. I definitely think it could be a one-of in a deck, but we'll just have to see how people decide to play it. But yeah, I definitely think getting back those muscle bands could be really useful to at least have one of it.
Potentially.
Were you going into Paint Roller?
Oh, I was just going to let you, since it really, since okay. Eco Arm isn't really all that important, I was going to let you say Paint Roller.
Well, Paint Roller, discard a Stadium card in play, and then draw 1 card. I kind of like overlooked this at first, but then Professor Bay helped me out, realizing that, you know, that's actually pretty decent if you don't happen to have a Stadium card, and you get to draw from discarding someone else's Stadium, so, and could definitely be really good with the Ninetales locking in their own Stadiums.
Yeah, you can lock out your opponent from even playing a Stadium, because once you put Ninetales into play, nobody can play a Stadium card.
Yep, so definitely really useful with that.
Yep. Okay, so now...
Oh, you did that on purpose, you jerk!
I did not. I did no such thing.
You jerk! I hate you.
There's love and hate going around this entire video. Oh man. Alright, so now we get to see something that we've been waiting for quite some time now, and that is the reprint of Level Ball. Yes. Bringing back some balance to the game. Search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. This, to me, was a card that we've been needing and lacking from this format for quite some time, just to give decks that use those weaker HP Pokemon a little bit of extra help to be competitive in this kind of a format, because right now it's so heavily dominant by big, tanky EX Pokemon with overpowered attacks, and this brings some balance back to the game. I would have loved to have seen it in a secret rare printing, but I'm kind of glad they didn't, because it makes it more available to those who need it, that got rid of theirs after Next Destiny's rotated. Unfortunately, I kept mine, so I still have all mine, but some people didn't do that, so really nice to see Level Wall back in the game.
Yeah, probably going to get a secret rare of it in the next set. Blue Flash and... no, Blue Impact and Red Flash, probably.
Probably.
Because that's what Pokemon likes to do.
Yep.
Whatever. So, yep, it's really good to see Level Ball back in format, or eventually back in format. We have Lucky Helmet. It's a tool card. You attach it to your active Pokemon, and if it's damaged by your opponent's attack, you draw 2 cards. So I think that's really cool. It just doesn't really have a place where you're just trying to focus on attacking rather than stalling. Mm-hmm. But for if there eventually are any stall decks, this might be a really cool tool to have.
Yep. I mean, the other thing too is with Lysander's trump card being gone, people may not be quite so willing to play a card like this because they might deck themselves out.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say. Alright, so we got the Spirit Links, of course. We've got the Sceptile Spirit Link, the Ampharos Spirit Link, awesome artworks on these, by the way, and the Mega Tyranitar Spirit Link. So that's those 3, obviously important. And I'll talk about the supporter card here, which is Ace Trainer. This, in my opinion, and of course, 8-Bit Bboc here will back me up in saying that this is probably going to be the card that replaces N in the format, because once it rotates, there's going to be a gaping hole for a draw supporter. So, yes. Obviously, on our channel, N is not happy about N rotating, but that's okay. Both players shuffle their hands. Nobody, exactly. Nobody cares. No, both players shuffle their hands into their deck. N is behind me trying to punch either me or you or both of us. I don't know what. Probably both of us. Both players shuffle their hands into their decks, then draw 6 cards, and your opponent draws 3 cards. So you're benefiting, getting all the benefit of drawing up to 6 cards. Drawing exactly 6 cards, I should say.
I hate this set.
And there's N.
It's a troll set.
And your opponent will draw only 3 cards, so you're benefiting yourself while also hurting your opponent. I think it's excellent replacement.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to save my money for the Mega Mewtwo set.
Oh, well, I think everyone's going to lose a lot of money on that set when it comes out. But, yeah, so, I mean, getting to draw 6 cards, that's a really solid amount, and having your opponent only get 3 cards. Now, the one thing is, people will continuously say that, and but they should just do a reprint of Professor Oak's new theory, where you shuffle your hand and draw 6. But this is definitely a good replacement, and because, I mean, like I said, you know, even if like it's late in the game, you can actually use this, and that actually makes it slightly better than N.
It does.
Because you can use it later in the game. But
and you're still disrupting your opponent.
Yeah, but you have to have that one stipulation. That's the one thing that sucks, is that you can only play it if you have more prize cards. Like, you know, if they had it to where, like, you were desperate and you played it, but you were the one getting 3 cards and your opponent got 6 cards, I could see it being a little bit better, but at the same time, no one's really ever going to do that. But, I mean, I'm just talking about people that are really desperate.
Yes.
But, yeah, so now I'll talk about Hex Mania, because I actually have a lot of faith in this card. And I'm actually really sad it didn't get a 4! But until the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon in play in each player's hand and each player's discard pile has no abilities. I think this could actually be pretty cool. Have at least a one-of in a deck, because, you know, there are Pokemon that aren't basic Pokemon that have abilities, and there's nothing really to go around those, so Hex Maniac can take care of that problem. So I think definitely having a one-of in a deck won't hurt at all.
Yep, if you got the room for it, I think it's a good tech card.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then, you know, if it gets in the discard pile, VS Seeker, because VS Seeker is definitely 3 or 4 of in every deck.
Yeah, it's at least 2 to 3. Not so much 4, but definitely 2 to 3. All right. No, I don't think so. We got a couple of stadium cards here. I guess I will talk about the Color Drain City. Between turns, place 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolved Pokemon in play.
Definitely helping a lot. That definitely makes the game a little bit more balanced.
It does, because Megas are obviously getting a lot more powerful as these sets go on. This is just kind of leveling the playing field just a little bit, so to speak. Draining some color from those Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man, draining them.
Yes.
So, anyways, I am happy to talk about this card. Giant Plant Forest, as we were talking about earlier. It's basically Broken Time Space, but for grass Pokemon. Each player's grass Pokemon can evolve during the first turn on the turn they were put into play. But here's the thing that I want to know, which I probably think will be the case. Can you evolve multiple times using this? Because it doesn't say you can only use it once per turn. So essentially, could you get Vileplume out on the first turn? You know, put the Oddish down, evolve into the Gloom, and then evolve right from the Gloom to the Oddish. Because technically, I mean not the Oddish, the Vileplume, because technically when you evolve that Gloom, that is the first turn that you played it. So. Yep. And it doesn't have any stipulation saying you can only use it once per turn, so that's really, really powerful for grass Pokemon.
We may have to wait for the official translation on that, or be issued some kind of ruling later on, but for now, I'm going to take it as we can evolve as many times as we want, and that makes it extremely broken.
Yeah, I really, really like that. But I guess that's reminiscent of Broken Time Space.
Exactly. Alright, so we got the 2 energies here. We got Flash Energy. This card can only be attached to a Lightning Pokemon. If it's attached to anything else other than a Lightning Pokemon, discard it. While in play, this card provides 1 Lightning Energy, and the Lightning Pokemon this energy is attached to has no weakness. Considering that most Lightning Pokemon are weak to Fighting types, this is actually really beneficial to them because Fighting types obviously have a lot of support and a lot of capability of really just dismantling Electric type or Lightning type decks.
But yeah, I wish it were a little bit different, but I can see the benefit for sure.
Yep.
But then we have Bad Energy, and it is pretty bad in a good way though. So same stipulations, can only be attached to Dark Pokemon, discarded if it's not. It provides 1 Dark Energy. The Pokemon this card is attached to, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is your active Pokemon, and it is damaged by an opponent's Pokemon EX, put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon EX. There's your 2 damage counters if you don't have Golbat, and hey, Mega Tyranitar, just destroy everything.
Yep.
The Destroyer King, please, let's have more of this brokenness.
It's disgusting. Disgusting. Alright, so let's just quickly go over the artworks here of the full arts here, because we've obviously discussed these Pokemon already. I love the way that Sceptile looks really awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's something about him that's really cool. I like that his mouth is slightly open and you just see his serpent tongue.
Yeah. There's something classy about the way he looks. I was talking about this earlier with Andrew as well. And then we got the Mega Sceptile here as well. Very colorful with the purples and the blues and the greens.
I love how the texture looks. The texture just, I don't know, there's something about it that looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's a picture itself or what, but this does look very, very detailed. So pretty cool, pretty cool.
But they have, obviously, if you guys can tell, especially with that Sceptile, the quality of the full arts have increased, even, like, tremendously, even in just one set. Like, so, very, very crazy. So, we've got this Kyurem. Definitely looks really, really cool. Like, I love how he's just looking off to the distance. I don't even know where he's at, really.
He looks like he's in the sky, looking at the night sky.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seems like. But you don't ever really imagine him flying, but he can fly, so...
Yep.
But it looks really good. The light blues and dark blues just work so well with him.
Mm-hmm. Sure does. Alright, well, we got the Ampharos. I'll go ahead and cover that, I guess. The Ampharos and the Mega Ampharos. I don't know. I mean, they're pretty cool. I'm going to say they're not my favorite in the set, but I do like the way that they look. They're still a step up from ones that we've seen in the past of full arts. The purples and the yellows and the blues kind of look nice with the Ampharos. The Mega Ampharos, you know, I feel like he could have used a little bit better of an expression other than just kind of looking like open mouth.
Yeah, but the definitely what you said with the color coordination for it, because purple and yellow are obviously complementary colors, so it just makes him pop that much more.
It does.
And I love the use of the colors on it. That's all I can really say about it. I mean, yeah, they could have done a little bit better job with the stance, but the colors just make it pop so well.
Yeah.
And then, this Hoopa EX.
There we go.
This is so... Oh my lord. Just look at like the rainbow in the background, the texture, you can lightly see it's just this vortex of colors, and he's just standing there. This is not my joke, so if you made this joke originally, don't sue me or anything. Not that you could. But he's about to drop the hottest mixtape of 2015. This Hoopa EX. It looks so good. The gold, like it literally looks like metal on the card. They did such an amazing job, and the colors are great, and the stance is just perfect. Everything about this card is perfect.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. All right. So let's go ahead and move on here. We got the Machamp. This Machamp even pops and stands out. I mean, you got the rocks flying everywhere, the orange, the yellow. Obviously he's gray, so he really stands out from that.
Oh,
just
yeah,
definitely putting in some work right there. Very powerful looking card.
Yeah. Ooh, this, and then I'm going to cover these two, so screw you, man. But the Tyranitar EX, so good with that use of dark red. It just... oh my gosh, it's so good. And then I feel like they could have done a little bit of a better job with the Mega Tyranitar, but he still has that really powerful stance and the purpley blue smoke behind him. Just, oh my gosh. But I definitely say I'd like the Tyranitar EX better just because of the use of that deep velvet red.
And the gold bordering around him too.
Mm-hmm.
Looks even better.
Yeah.
Alright, so now let's go ahead and take a look at this Giratina. I don't think there's really a whole lot more they could have done with this card. It is Giratina, it's origin form like you said. The colors all blend together really well. It captures the fact that he is really dark more than anything. I mean,
yeah,
even though he's a dragon type.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he is kind of coming from like this vortex underneath him, like from the underworld, or
very
what do
ghostly.
they call that? Distortion world.
Distortion world.
So,
yep.
Definitely really cool. Well, I don't know why I set my expectations higher for this than what it is, so I was like slightly disappointed, but it still looks cool nonetheless. But, when I think back on it, it's like I don't know what they could have done else with this card, so whatever. And then Lugia Ix.
My favorite card artwork of the entire set.
It looks very similar to the box artwork for Heart Gold Soul Silver, but that just is his amazing stance anyways. Like, that's just how you imagine Lugia, just so powerful, and it's just good. It's just good. That's all you can say about it. The gold border around him looks so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That it just really shows how powerful Lugia is just as a Pokemon.
Indeed. Alright, so we're getting to the secret rares here. These have already been shown before at a lot of different places, so I'll just go ahead and cover all three, and I'll leave the last two trainers to you because these are not secrets by any stretch of the means. They were revealed quite early. That is our full art of our Megas. All three of these are going to have Theta Max, which is the ability that will heal all damage. What is it, when you Mega Evolve? Is that what it is?
When one of your Pokemon becomes this Pokemon. So basically, when you evolve.
Yeah, when you Mega Evolve. Primal Kyogre, Primal Groudon, I feel like they did about as good as they could with them. Primal Groudon looks really, really good. Primal Kyogre, but his shiny form doesn't look all that great to begin with, in my opinion. And then, of course, we've got the Mega Rayquaza. All of these have the same attacks that they do in their respective sets. So, no surprises there, but I feel like these aren't going to see play so much as they are going to be collector's items because Theta Max is just not as good as the original ancient traits that come with these cards.
Yeah, which is good because from a collecting standpoint, if they had their original ancient traits, they would be crazy expensive, and I'm just really, really glad that they're not the exact reprints of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And lastly, energy retrieval and trainer's mail. They're gold border trainers. Trainer's mail just came out in the last set. I'm so angry. They could have made Hex Maniac and Ace Trainer full art, but no, they gave energy retrieval and trainer's mail, the gold borders. Stupid. Just stupid.
I agree. I don't
hate
get
everything about it. I hate it.
Yep. Closing out the set review with a lackluster bang in disappointing trainer secret rares.
Yeah, oh my God. But hey, 5 secret rares in a set, maybe the pull ratios will be a lot better.
Yeah, well, we can only hope. I mean, we're talking about a lot of ultra rares in this set. Almost every type got represented in EXs, except for Steel, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just Steel.
Steel's the only one.
Yeah, and before you guys say anything, we're obviously including Togekiss and Emboar, which were Fire and Fairy.
Right, yeah. That is still coming out. The scans are not out for that yet, as it says right here. Still waiting for the Emboar EX and Togekiss EX deck scans to release as far as what PokeBeach says here on this site. Alright guys, that wraps up the entire set. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and you guys follow along with our standpoints here on the competitive qualities of these cards. Try to focus not so much on the artwork this time and really just focus on what can be used in the game. But definitely going to say this is a very beautiful set. I feel like they're getting better and better as they go with the artwork, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I had to slip that in every once in a while if I could, but we tried to tone it back a little bit just because we need to get on the competitive side, but because you guys have your opinions on it, but yeah, the quality of the cards are getting so much better. Let's just hope that when it actually comes out in English, that, like, you know, we don't have, like, half of a Hoopa EX printed on the card and then the other half be a Machamp, because I would kind of be really sad about that. And Pokemon really needs to improve the quality of the English cards. I'm sick of miscuts. Like, yep. I really am tired of it.
Miscuts, misprints, everything is just it's got to change for the better. It really does. Japan can do it. Why can't we? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
All right.
But,
so. Anyways, guys, yeah, that's the set. A lot of really good cards to come out. A lot of cards that are going to make us groan when we have to face them competitively. But overall, I think it's a pretty balanced set and really interesting. And I believe it's bringing some very cool new mechanics to the game. And yeah, well, I guess we'll just have to see what happens when it gets released in English.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said, if it weren't for those 2 supporters not getting a full arts, this set would be a 10 out of 10 perfect set. Just balance-wise, artwork-wise, everything-wise, this would have been a perfect set. Had they not screwed over the supporters. But what do I know? I'm
yeah,
just
you know,
jerk.
we're just Poketubers. We don't know much.
Stephen Full Art, where are you?
Yeah, where'd that go? It just disappeared. Oh well. Alright guys, that's it for today. That's the set. Bandit Ring / Ancient Origins. This is what's coming at us, guys. We're going to be looking at it August 12th in the United States.
Oh,
so.
Is it the 12th? I thought it was the 20th.
I thought
that's the day... No, 20th is the day Worlds start, so...
yeah.
Yep.
It's August... I believe it's August 12th is the date that was tentatively set to release for this in the United States as Ancient Origins. So we're going to be looking forward to that. We've got a little less than 2 months to go on that. And that's what we're looking forward to. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, whether you're watching it on the Pokemon Evolutionaries or on 8-Bboc. And, of course, subscribe to both of us as well, because we love you all, and hopefully you will love us just as much.
Oh yeah, definitely. That actually sounded very like monotone. Like, oh yeah, I totally love you guys. I do love you guys. You know, I just ended this super bad. Thank you all so much for watching. We definitely really appreciate you guys, and I'm being a little bit more upbeat now. I was just kind of, you know, looking at this Hoopa EX, so beautiful. So, anyways, like Professor K said, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe, and to both of our channels, and people from my channel, please go over to Pokemon Evolutionaries, and
vice versa for my subscribers as well. Be sure to go check out 8-Bboc. He does a lot of great stuff. He's the reason why we have the intro that we do, and a lot of the artwork that we've had on our channel over time, our layouts as well. So definitely go and give him some love over there if you haven't already.
Professor May.
Indeed, indeed.
And then, yeah, his stuff is okay, guys. So
yeah,
just do it. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's not ramble on any further. Anyways, guys, we will see you next time. We'll be back together with another set review once that happens. So be prepared for that. 3 months from now, we'll be back again. It is a 4-time-a-year thing for us, so stay tuned for that. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. I'm Professor K for the Pokemon Evolutionaries.
And I'm Andrew.
Have a great day.